Welcome to the Gibbons Talks Boxing YouTube channel. I'm joined once again by former pro fighter Darryn Bushbye. In the British press recently, there was a list released, I think, by one of the national newspapers, stating their top 10 British boxers over the last 30 years. I didn't necessarily agree with the list, but I thought I'd actually put my own list together, and it was surprisingly difficult. And I invited Darryn to do the same. Before we reveal our lists, Darryn, I mean, how difficult did you find putting the top 10 British boxers from the last 30 years together?
Mate, it was when you asked me to do it, I thought, oh yeah, that'd be good fun. And I thought, you know what, that'd be pretty easy. Yeah. I looked at the list, it was by the Sun, wasn't it? I don't read the Sun. And I looked at the list and I was like, I don't necessarily agree with some of those fighters. Obviously, some is an unconscious bias towards some of my favourite fighters, for example. But yeah, and I really, really struggled, and I've scribbled it out. I've started and that about 3 times, mate, right? And I actually phoned a few of my friends as well and said, look, I know I'm cheating a little bit, but I just needed to get people's opinions. And I'd say the top 5 or 6, you know, I spoke to about 2 or 3 different people, but there's 5 people in there on nearly everyone's list, for example. But I think you were going to be surprised of 2 people I haven't included. But anyway, over to you, mate.
Right, okay. So what we'll do, we'll unveil our lists 10 to 1. One at a time. So I'll go first. My number 10, and this might be slightly, I don't know, might be a little bit controversial. I don't know. I got Anthony Joshua as number 10, mainly because he's a 2-time world heavyweight champion. He's unified the heavyweight title, or partially unified. He has won the WBC belt, obviously.
Yeah.
He regained the title, had a brilliant fight with Klitschko, and was able to reinvent himself, I suppose, to a certain extent, to beat Andy Ruiz to win his portion of the world heavyweight title back.
Yeah, really good fight that was. Where did you watch it?
The rematch.
No, the Klitschko.
Klitschko. I watched it in my local, just on my local pub.
I watched it in my apartment in Richmond, from Virginia, with a few of the boys. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant, end to end, and. Klitschko nearly had him out there, didn't he? But you know what, right? He showed unbelievable resolve in that fight, mate. What a brilliant, brilliant fight. Brilliant fight. So he's your number 10?
Number 10, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not a massive Anthony Joshua fan, because I don't think he's real. I just, you know, don't get me wrong, he's manufactured really, really well and stuff. He's great athlete, but I'm not an unbelievable fan. So, but I've got him a little bit higher, I have mine.
And also, actually, sorry, but Anthony Joshua, you should point out, an Olympic gold medalist as well.
Oh, listen.
To win a gold medal is probably more difficult than winning a world title in the pros.
Yeah, you can't take anything away from him. I remember watching him in the World Amateur Championships, and I think he lost to an Uzbeki in the final, and that could have gone either way, and I think he had a silver medal. I can't remember if he had to fight him again in the Olympics, but an unbelievable athlete, right? But that, for me, that's what he is. You can't take it away from me. He's a good fighter, but and I've actually weirdly, begrudgingly, I've got him a little bit higher than you. So number 10. Who have I got at number 10? I've actually got, right, and I've taken a bit of stick on this. I spoke to Ross Ford earlier, and he gave me a little bit of stick. I've got Amir Khan at number 10.
Right, okay.
And I've got him, obviously, Olympian when he was 17. Who did he lose to? Mario Kindlin, wasn't it?
Yeah, the Cuban, yeah.
Mario Kindlin. Mario Kindlin was an unbelievable fighter. And do you remember when Frank Warren televised the rematch with him on ITV, and he was an amateur? Do you remember it?
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
Yeah, so I've got Amir Khan at number 10, I think it's really hard to exclude him because, you know, he will fight absolutely anyone, world champion, box Kotelnik, and I think Kotelnik, did Kotelnik beat Gavin Rees?
Yeah, he was the one Gavin Rees lost his world title to.
Gavin
He stopped
Rees.
Gavin in the last round, I think, was it?
Yeah, he beat Bushbye and then he boxed Katalnik, didn't he?
Yeah.
But yeah, Amir Khan, number 10, fought absolutely everyone. Okay, every time he's really stepped up, he's been sparked, and he was sparked against Lamont Peterson, sparked against Danny Garcia, had a brilliant fight against Marcus Maidana. Obviously went up a couple of weight divisions.
That's a brilliant win, Maidana, for Khan. I mean, especially in retrospect, that Maidana beat Broner, and you give Mayweather 2 tough fights.
Yeah. Do you know what, right? That's probably one of my favourite fights out there. Not my favourite fights. One of the ones I've really, really enjoyed is when Maidana really put it on Broner. Brilliant. Yeah. Absolutely brilliant. Because me and you often talk about Maidana, don't we? And he's basically, and I never ever forget this, and I've stolen you saying, you said, Adrian Broner's got the personality of a sewer rat. So yeah, Amir Khan achieved an awful lot. Don't get me wrong. He's lost in some high-profile fights, but you can't not have him in the top 10 for me anyway. Very exciting fight there. Really enjoyable.
Okay, so my number 9.
My drink.
Nice. What we've got there?
Aperol Spritz, mate.
Well, I did have a cup of coffee in my. I can't see it now because of my thing. But my Gibbons Talks Boxing branded mug.
Oh, mate, how much are they going for?
Well, I'm not actually selling them, but next after lockdown, I bought 2 by mistake. So you can have my spare one.
Oh, there we are. Happy days. I'll take it.
It's got pens in it at the moment.
Brilliant.
Right, get back to the list. Number 9, I got another heavyweight, Tyson Fury. Again, 2 times.
I am so shocked at that. How is he so low? Go on.
2-time world heavyweight champion.
Yeah.
I think, the Klitschko win was brilliant. Wilder, I think, in retrospect, I think Wilder's probably a very overrated fighter. And I think as time goes on, I think he'll be shown to be that.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We spoke about that last time.
But I think, apart from Klitschko, he hasn't really. I know he fought a lot of good guys like Chisora. He beat twice. That was 2 good wins. But of course, he beat Klitschko and then just disappeared for. He had his problems we all know about. And the fact his career is still going. It's sort of a story still to be written, I think.
I'm shocked you got him so low. I really, really am. I think we'll come on to him. I'll talk about him in a bit more detail, but I've got him a lot higher actually. But listen, with the Wilder one, it's one of those ones, isn't it, where, let's be honest, he has been exposed for what he is, which is he is actually quite limited. But no one else could do it, see. No. Nobody else could do it. Until then, they thought he was one of the most destructive punchers in world history and all that sort of stuff. And Joshua stood him on his head. But I do think, if you look at some of Wilder's fights, he didn't really beat anyone either. His Lewis Ortiz twice.
Ortiz, yeah, they were good wins. But Ortiz, it's the best of a poor bunch really. Like Ortiz, he wouldn't have been, in the top 10 in the 90s, for example.
Listen, about 4. No, I don't disagree with that, but I don't know, about 3-4 years ago. Well, it's probably 3-4 years ago. It's probably a big thing. But a couple of years ago, I thought if Ortiz had fought Joshua, he would beat him.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
No, he'd box his head up, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is about 50, isn't he? Yeah.
That's the joke, isn't it? It's like, do you see on the when people had all the aging apps? That was the
yeah.
People exactly the same.
Yeah. Oh my God, number 9. I've got Anthony Joshua number 9.
Okay, we're not far off.
No, not far off.
What I had.
It's one of those ones where I think me and you started speaking about this, but it caused quite a bit of controversy, didn't it? Because Carl Froch, basically, my mate Carl Froch, and your mate, he basically said, what did he say? He said, because considering where Anthony Joshua is in his career, you can't not have Carl Froch in the top 10 if you've got Anthony Joshua in the top 10. Yeah. And we spoke about this, I think, previously, and he has got a massive point. But when I was looking through the list earlier on, I was thinking to myself, what has Joshua done? But then when you consider he's world champion after his 14th fight. And admittedly, he boxed Charles Martin.
Yeah.
But listen, he's swimming with no armbands in the deep end from early on, isn't he?
Yeah.
When you think about it. So I think it's very hard not to add him in your top 10. And, you know, he's the way he came back and the way he boxed to Ruiz, which shows, as weird as this sounds, he's clearly still learning on the job, isn't he? You know,
definitely,
He's only been boxing for...
Since
when did he box in the Olympics? What's that?
London Olympics, 12, is it 2012?
2012. But he only started boxing 4 years before that.
Yeah, 18 years old, he started boxing.
So it was 2008. He's only been boxing 12 years, Mike.
Yeah, it's not long.
It's like, you know, you can't not have him in there. So he's my number 9, mate. I'm not his biggest fan, but I've been lucky enough. I've watched him live a couple of times. Obviously, I've seen him in Froch Groves, and I also watched him on the undercard of Bellew versus Cleverly in Liverpool.
Yeah, so
and, quite a funny story. He was I come out of the toilet and what's his name? Michael Spott has literally just been annihilated by Anthony Joshua in 1 round, and I had a couple of beers and I'm pestering him for a photo. My mate's like, he's just been sparked by Joshua. Leave him alone. Like, come here. Put my arm around him. He's not much taller than me, but he's about 5'11".
Yeah, he's not tall, crazy.
Lovely fella, Michael Spott. Hey, I'm going to segue really quickly. I've got to get this off my chest. Mike Tyson, that 10-second video, and everyone thinking he's going to make a comeback and he's going to be brilliant. What's your thoughts on that?
The good thing when someone puts a video like that up is it shows people who understand boxing and people who don't.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people who I thought who actually work in boxing, as in like photographers and other things.
Yeah.
And a guy who's covered a lot of boxing is a photographer, and he put a statement up on Facebook last day or two. If Tyson came back now with a bit of training, he'd beat everyone in the top 10. I thought this guy understood boxing, but clearly he takes pictures and hasn't got a clue.
Mate, honestly, I looked at it and I was getting wound up by it, and I had a bit of a social detox, so I haven't been on the internet for about a week and a bit. And I was reading some of the comments, right, yesterday and today, and I just cannot get my head around it. All the top 10 take him out within about 4 rounds. I'm telling you, they all take him out. Well,
Kevin Mcbride was like maybe top 15, top 20 in the world when he beat Tyson 15 years ago. And it was totally one-sided as well. It wasn't a particularly close fight.
Unbelievable. Yeah. I don't know. It just shows you the world of social media, doesn't it, really? Yeah. Anyway, it was nice to see him fit and healthy anyway.
Yeah, he's looking in good shape, Tyson, considering he was quite big a few years ago. But,
he's on the old ganja now, isn't he?
Oh, yeah, he's flying high now. Right, number 8, I think this might be controversial. Number 8, David Haye.
I got him higher, see. Go on.
I got, obviously, cruiserweight champion. Beat Mormac in France.
Jean-Marc Mormac.
Yeah, a brilliant result, which almost didn't get covered by British TV. But no, that goes. I think it was on Setanta Sports. Setanta bought the rights to it right to the last minute.
Yeah.
Didn't get the publicity it deserved at the time.
Yeah.
But no, Haye got off the floor to win. Obviously, he won the heavyweight title. He beat Valiev, but to win any version of the world title is an achievement. But I think Valiev, he's a very, very poor champion, especially when you consider, if you remember, Evander Holyfield, who was almost 50 years old or whatever he was, almost beat Valiev a couple of fights before. So, but as a heavyweight, he beat Chisora, which is considering what Chisora's gone on to do since, is still a brilliant result.
It's true. Can you hear me, mate?
Yeah. You froze there for a second.
What's that? I've got the living room. Tell you what, I've moved 3 times already, haven't I? Let's move again. Can you see me now?
I see you, but it's the picture's static. Yeah, I was just saying, David Haye as a heavyweight, brilliant win over Derek Chisora, which has actually looks better as time has gone on when Chisora's had some good results. He did a decent job when he beat John Ruiz.
John Ruiz, iced him, and that was on. What was the name of that? What was his name? Who was promoting him at the time? Was it David Haye was backed by a guy called Panos Eliadis back then, wasn't he?
That's right. Yeah.
Do you remember him?
Yeah,
and he signed quite a few fighters, didn't he? And what was the name of the what was the outfit called? The promotional outfit?
Oh, I can't remember.
Yeah, but he
would be the Haymaker Promotions, wouldn't it?
Haymaker, but he's done him with a lovely right hand. John Ruiz walked onto it and he pitched straight right hand. So easy number 8, is he?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult. I mean, all these. I mean, if people could make a good argument, I wouldn't be. The three I've named so far, Haye, Fury, and Joshua. I mean, really, you could scramble those around in any order because all their achievements are fairly similar. So
I can't get
Mr. Bushby's number 8.
I can't believe we've got Tyson Fury at number 9. My number 8 is Ricky Hatton.
Okay.
You've got him a lot higher, haven't you?
I might have.
Yeah, you've got him a lot higher. I think Ricky Hatton, you can't take anything away from him. He's a real fan's favourite, isn't he? And I've never met him.
Yeah, I interviewed Ricky Hatton for KOTV.
Yeah, was he alright?
Yeah, brilliant. He was just exactly as you'd imagine him to be. Well, the way he is on like TV and stuff, that's exactly what he was like.
Yeah. I met him on the undercard, or what? Well, not the undercard. I met him at the Linares Crawler fight. I had good tickets for that. And he was a little bit worse for wear, and he was all right. Like he wasn't very happy to be engaging with people. But I know he probably had some troubles in his life and stuff. But he was nice enough at a photo with him, but he wasn't up for talking. So I got him a number 8. Why have I got him a number 8? Because fantastic fighter. And I loved watching him fight. I remember watching him, like, who did he? I remember watching him against, did he, when was his first fight in America? Was it against a guy called Juan Urango?
I think his first fight in America was Colazo, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, yeah, sorry, he fought early on in his career, didn't he? Very early on.
Early on in his career, but I'm sure he fought for the IBF title. He boxed a guy called Juan Urango.
Yeah, he did, yeah.
A big southpaw, big. But I thought that was a light welter. He boxed Colazo welter. Did he go up to welter and then come back down?
Yeah, he did, yeah. But I think one of his first fights was in America, in New York. Maybe his first handful of fights, 4 or 5 fights.
Really?
I think so, yeah.
But I can't put him higher than number 8. I know I was speaking to Ross again earlier on, and he was like, Darren, he goes, he boxed everyone, he beat everyone. The only 2 people he lost to was bloody Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. And I watched it because it was the anniversary of the Pacquiao fight the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And I watched that fight. I watched that twice in about the last 3 weeks. Oh my God, he iced him, didn't he? He iced him.
But that was actually the press conference in London. That was probably the first big press conference I went to.
Really?
Pacquiao and Hatton, yeah.
Was it really? So you went to the UK press conference, did you?
Yeah, it was in the Imperial War Museum.
Was it really? Any good?
Yeah, brilliant, amazing. Well, I sort of partially blagged my way in, really. I wasn't there in any official capacity. And because it was such a big, huge event, they were actually like refusing proper press report that I recognised. They were refusing them because there's just so many people there. And there's me and my missus just basically blagged our way in. Like.
Nice. He's, number 8 for me, mate. No higher.
Right. Another well, I don't know. I think this I might have put.
You know what, right? It's so subjective, right? And I'm probably going to get slaughtered for some.
I'm thinking, right? If you've reacted like this to some of my, well, I don't know many people will watch this, but what's everyone else going to say?
Yeah, hey, listen, you got Steve Robinson in there, haven't you? I know you're a big fan of Steve Robinson.
I love Steve. I used to love his fights back in the day. Well, yeah. My next on the list, I agonised over this one, whether it should be higher, lower, but number 7, Duke McKenzie.
Yeah, it is hard to ignore him, right? He 3-weight world champion, wasn't he?
Yeah.
An absolute gentleman of the sport, and it's just a shame he's not in the public eye enough. He does a little bit for Channel 5 and stuff, but a really, really nice guy, and you can see knowledgeable. But I never forget. Funny enough, we just talked about him. He's one of your favourite fighters, Steve Robinson. Remember when Steve Robinson done him?
Yeah.
And Mackenzie, he was a really good body puncher, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And Steve Robinson actually done him with the left up of the body, didn't he?
That's right. Yeah.
Is it about like the 5th round or something?
I thought it was a bit later than that, more like 8 or 9, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, I forget. I used to watch a lot of Robinson when I was a kid. But Duke Mackenzie's your number 7. Why?
Britain's first 3-weight world champion, even though I think he won his first title, the IBF flyweight title, before 1990, so technically he's outside of the 30 years.
Yeah.
But still, though, a 2-weight world champion in the last 30 years. Solid performer, fought the best out there. Probably didn't get the recognition he deserves.
And it's probably one of those ones, isn't it? You try it. It's something called unconscious bias. You're going to be biased towards people who like. So he's not in mine, and he's probably not in mine. Because I read up on him a bit earlier on. Obviously, he's a 3-weight world champion, but I just don't know enough about it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I remember the BBC used to show a lot of his fights back in the day.
Yeah.
And they didn't see many people there, and the atmosphere wasn't great.
Yeah.
But I sort of agonised over him. I wasn't quite sure if put him higher, lower. But anyway.
He's not even in mine, mate. He's not even in
He didn't even make the Bushbye 10.
And when you think about it, it's pretty embarrassing, really, because he is a 3-weight world champion. And you start to think, well, why have I put Amir Khan in above him? Sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? Khan's not in your top 10, is he?
Not saying it.
Number 7 for me is one of my favourite fighters, Carl Froch. I got him in number 7, and the reason I got him in number 7, I followed a lot of Froch, right, over the years, and you know I'm a fan of his, even though he's probably not the most well-liked boxing. He's probably not the most well-liked public figure, especially in boxing, because he's controversial. He divides opinion. And also, like you said a couple of weeks ago, he does it because I think he enjoys getting a rise out of people as well.
Oh, definitely.
But when you look, and there's a couple of fights that I remember. I remember when he boxed Pascal. Believe it or not, I was working on the door with Di Jenkins. I don't know how the hell I was even a bloody doorman for 5 minutes, never mind a few months. But I was a doorman in a gay bar, right? Do you remember Champers on High Street?
No, I don't remember that.
Me and Di used to work there. Good money, mate. It was good money. But we no trouble. The only time we'd ever have trouble is when we'd stop people coming in. We'd stop people coming in because they just want to go in for a laugh. 2 seconds, I'll knock my door. All right, mate. Thanks a lot. Cheers. What is it? Mate, people have been sending me random stuff, right? The other day, I'll show you this right there, right? People keep sending me random parcels from Amazon, right?
Right.
I had these sent to me the other day, right?
Nice. I like those.
No message, nothing. I just got sent these. It actually matches the vest, doesn't it? Look what I've had today. An umbrella hat.
Oh, yeah.
So basically, I just got someone sending me random gifts like once a week.
You should have worn that hat in the garden, couldn't you?
What's that?
You could have worn that hat in the garden.
See if I can get it on, sorry. Let's see if I can get it on. Where were we?
You said...
Carl Froch.
Froch, yes.
Right.
The merits of Froch.
Fought absolutely everyone. Pascal, Taylor, Darrell, Kessler, Abraham, Glenn Johnson, Andre Ward, Butte, Mack, Kessler, Groves ×2. Listen, you've got to have him in there.
I got to say, but funny enough, I watched it back the other day, actually. The first Kessler fight. I mean, you could make a good argument. The Froch won that first fight. Oh, yeah, there we are, we're back now.
You there?
Yeah, we're back. Oh, you thought, yeah, there we are.
I don't know what's going on. Here's my new present.
I can't. Quality, mate.
Go on. So where were we? Froch.
Froch, yeah.
He's got to be in there for me.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
I'm not sure if you just heard because you froze there for a second, but I recently watched the first Froch Kessler fight back, and I think you can make brilliant fight. But I think you can make an argument that Froch won that first fight.
Yeah, the second fight, right? I nearly went to it, and do you know what? I'm absolutely gutted I never went to it because that was a proper barn burner, wasn't it?
Oh yeah.
And he was always in exciting fights, never ducked anyone. I don't know, it's really weird. He's not exactly a very technical boxer, is he?
Oh no, I think he's
watching. Have you even seen the way he throws his jab?
Mm.
It's the weirdest thing. It's the weirdest thing to watch, but I tell you. And he punches going forward. He's off balance all the time.
His feet are always all over the place as well.
Unbelievable. But listen, fought absolutely everyone. And when you think really right, his career could have gone one or two ways. He loses that Taylor fight. What happens?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
That was a brilliant result as well for the.
Brilliant. If that tells you, how tough the man is, if that doesn't tell you how tough the man is, nothing will. I tell you what, brilliant fight. So he's my number 7, mate. What about you?
He was a big underdog as well when he fought Lucien Butane. I mean,
he was 7-2. He was 7-2. Right? You could have put a tenner on him, and you were on 45 quid. And honest to God, in the head, he nearly messed it up, didn't he? Because he jumped in the ring and referee. Do you know?
Yeah.
Honestly, he absolutely. And I think Lucien Butane put a tweet up the other day, didn't he? And he said basically he was never the same again after Carl Froch. Carl Froch basically ended his career.
Yeah.
Butane fought a few more times. I think he even fought James the Gale, didn't he?
Yeah, he did, yeah.
Funny enough, he fought James the Gale in Washington in the DC Armory. May 2016, because I come home from America in the April, otherwise I would have gone. But he was, he ended his career. You could almost say he ended his career a little bit, probably not as dramatic as what Calzaghe did to Lacey, but, I think he changed his career in one night. He absolutely obliterated it. Brilliant performance. Brilliant.
Yeah. Okay, my number 6. This is number 6 one now. I think his name's already mentioned, and, for all the reasons you've already said, really. Ricky Hatton, number 6.
Why?
Just all the reasons you said. He won two-weight world champion. The one night against Costa Azul, he was probably as good as any British fighter ever. Just that one night. He was great just for one night only.
Brilliant. But no, he fought. The thing is, is it Tazoo? I don't know how you pronounce his name.
Costa Azul, yeah.
Costa Azul. One of the best knockouts I've ever seen is when Costa Azul knocks out Zab. And he was like, bam, you're like, brilliant. I remember that fight like it was yesterday. Absolutely brilliant. But yeah, it was so entertaining. Unbelievably entertaining fighter, but he doesn't get higher than, what's he with me? I had him on the break. So we went far, are we?
Yeah, far. Yeah, they're all quite similar. So you're number 6, Dad?
And do you know what? Just because I absolutely loved him growing up. Who do you think I'm going to say? I absolutely loved him.
Nigel Benn?
No. The Naz.
Naz, okay.
Hey, mate, I'm going to say something really controversial here. Eubank and Ben ain't even in there.
Never.
They're not, no.
Never.
They're not. And do you know what, right? I am kicking myself because, and this is what I'm saying, where I'm picking, I'm not using pure logic here, right?
But to be fair, we didn't really, when we decided to do this, we didn't really set a criteria out as such.
Yeah.
We just write your top 10 for the last 30 years.
Funny enough, Paddy Cullen, I messaged Paddy, right? And I said, look, Pad, I messaged the boys, I said, oh, by the way, I'm doing another podcast with Ciaran, Britain's top 10 for the last 30 years. Ryan replied, going, ooh, look at Darryn, he's got a podcast with him, blah, 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 because I keep buying the boys. So Ryan gave me a bit of stick. And then me and Paddy would go backwards and forwards, and Paddy basically said, look, He said, love Ben growing up. You've got to have Ben in there just because it's Nigel Benn. And really, when you think of who he fought, I thought he boxed. Do you know when he won the WBC world title? Because he beat the guy called Doug Dewitt, didn't he?
Yeah, for the WBO title in Atlantic City.
He's done him in like the 8th round or whatever. Yeah. Doug Dewitt, he's a good-looking man, wasn't he?
Pretty boy.
I tell you what, he'd have face for radio. Yeah. If there was ever a boxer in the world where the word face for radio fitted a person, it would be Doug Dewitt. For the 5 listeners, Google Doug Dewitt, and he won't prove. I won't be proven wrong on that. But no, listen. And then he boxed Barkley, didn't he? Barkley was obviously on the slide. He done Barkley in 1 round.
I think Barkley beat Hearns after that, didn't he? He had a good win against Tommy Hearns. The rematch after that, right? I
didn't even know they fought, to be honest, mate.
They fought twice, yeah.
Did he really?
Yeah, Barkley knocked out Hearns in 3 rounds in the first fight.
Wow.
And I think he beat him on points at light heavyweight in the rematch.
There we are. That's a fight for me to watch later. So Nigel Benn, absolutely brilliant. And do you know, I always remember he boxed. I thought when he won the WBC title in Italy, I thought he beat Vincenzo Nardiello, but he didn't. I remember Nardiello because Nardiello boxed both Eubank and Benn. And I think he might have even boxed Steve Collins as well, I don't know. But he actually beat a guy called Mario
Galvano. Galvano, I think.
So yeah, it's hard. And now I'm looking at our list now, and I'm like, why have I put Amir Khan in above Nigel Benn? Because when you think about it, yeah, Ben should have been in there. If I could have my time over again, Ben comes in at number 10. Khan.
Right, well, we can have a chat at the end about how perhaps we change our lists in retrospect.
All right then, sorry. So my number 6, getting back to it, is Naz. It's got to be.
Yep.
Got to be the Naz. I absolutely loved watching him growing up. I'm only gutted I never actually seen him live. What a fighter. I remember him boxing. He boxed, was it Steve Boom Boom Johnson, is it?
Yeah, Tom Boom Boom
Johnson, sorry. And he smashed him up, didn't he? I remember him boxing a guy called Daniel Alicia. He boxed Daniel Alicia. And he hits him with a left hook and he hits him with a right hand. And basically, Daniel Alicia goes like this. He literally falls. If you Google the fight and you watch it, he falls like a tree. And then Daniel Alicia, honestly, Daniel Alicia was a Puerto Rican. I think he was an Olympian. Years later, Daniel Alicia boxed a guy called Acelino Freitas.
Oh, Freitas,
yeah.
Yeah.
Acelino Freitas, really good fight. He boxed Barry Jones, didn't he?
Yeah.
And he was icing everyone in like 1 round. And Barry Jones went like 9 rounds.
Yeah, but Barry dropped him, didn't he? The first 30 seconds or something.
But Daniel Alicia was actually managed by, I think he had like links with Warren, because also I watched Daniel Alicia, not Acelino Freitas, sorry, boxed that Daniel Alicia in, where was it? Not Newcastle. In Sheffield, Ponds Forge, I think it was. And it was the night Richie Woodall boxed Joe Calzaghe.
Oh, right, yeah.
And Acelino Freitas was kicking footballs into the crowd, and he had all these Brazilian dancers. Brilliant, really good.
Just to mention that.
No, I was just going to say the Naz got to be in there. Don't get me wrong, Pereira took him to school, didn't he? And I think, you read stories, I think Naz avoided people like Morales for years and all that sort of stuff. But you've got to have him in there. Brilliant fighter. And I remember, I think it was either Reg Guttridge said, enjoy him while he's here, because you're going to miss him when he's gone. Oh, yeah, definitely. I tell you what, it's so true.
He brought a lot of people into boxing, like fans who normally wouldn't watch boxing just because of his razzmatazz.
Yeah.
He actually, I know people know his fight with Steve Robinson in Cardiff, which I took me a long time to forgive Naz for that fight.
Yeah.
But he fought another time in Cardiff as well before that. And it was like I think it was Frank Warren, I can't remember, or maybe Matchroom, I can't remember. But it was a big show with all sort of the up-and-coming fighters. So it was me, my brother, I think my brother was there, my father, queuing up to get into the old ice arena.
Yeah.
And there's a little guy in front of me. And I turned around, it was actually Naz. So Naz actually was queuing up to get into his own fight. And I had a copy of Boxing News, so he said, could you sign up?
He was queuing up to get into his own fight?
He was boxing all night. So he was actually queuing up, and Yeah, he was in the queue in front of us.
I don't know if you remember. Do you know my mate Kerry Farrell?
I don't think
Kerry
so.
Farrell, head to toe in tackles, great bloke, really good boy. Fought everyone, like, you know. I hope you won't mind me saying this. Was he seen as a journeyman? I don't think he was seen as a journeyman. He came to win, but I think he lost more than he won. He boxed Michael Aldis a couple of times. And I remember he went up to Di Jenkins' house, and you know, me and Di are really good friends. And the story goes, he knocked Di's door and said, "Oh, Di," he said, I've been offered a fight," he said. And he goes, "I want to know what you think about it," because Di was very knowledgeable with boxing. And then he said to Kerry, he goes, "Oh," he goes, "the thing is," he goes, "they want me to fight this young and up-and-coming kid. His name's Nassim Ahmed or something." And Di went like that. Di went, he goes, "Oh, listen, Kerry. You know, Kerry probably wasn't training very hard. I don't think he ever trained very hard." And he says, "Oh, listen, Kerry. You want to stay away from this boy," he said. "You know, he's mustard," he said. He goes, "Stay away from him." He goes, "Oh, is it?" He goes, "Oh, the thing is," he said, he goes, "they've offered me $2,000 for it," he said. And he goes, "And it's in Portugal." And Di went, "Oh, do you know what?" He goes, "Take it." He goes, "You might go a few rounds with him," he said. The fight never materialised, right? But it would have been on the undercard of Julian Jackson versus Errol Bomber.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But yeah, got other than Naz in there, mate. Loved it.
Yeah. Okay, moving on. My number 5. We're on number 5 now. As already mentioned by yourself, Carl Froch, number 5. Just all the reasons you said. Even though I think since he's retired, I'm looking back at Froch. I've always appreciated him as a boxer.
Yeah.
But I think he's just one of those people now. He's got that tag of someone the British public just love to hate.
Yeah.
And I listened to him on whoever was interviewing him the other day on about the Joe Calzaghe thing. And he just said, "Well, people ask me all the time about Joe Calzaghe. So what am I supposed to say? I mean, how am I supposed to respond?"
Yeah.
I know he's a fighter. He backs himself to win. So he's got to say it.
Of course he does. But see, because I spoke to Di, watched the podcast between me and you, and then he was like, you know, and he started giving me a bit of grief about Froch, right? And he was like, and I don't know how true this is, but apparently Frank Warren was on a talk show, and he said, "Listen," he said, "we offered, after Calzaghe beat Lacey, we offered Carl Froch the fight because he was managing two of them, and apparently Carl Froch turned it down." Now, I'd never heard that before, because I always thought that Carl Froch was always chasing him, and Calzaghe was just like, jog on, because he was chasing much bigger fights, and he was basically, for me, you look back at it, it was one of those ones where it's high risk, low reward, isn't it?
Yeah, I think at one point,
go on.
When Calzaghe was the WBC champion, who did he beat to win that? Whoever it was, he beat Kessler for the WBC title, didn't he? I think Froch was number 1 contender. So basically, Calzaghe, he had to make some sort of offer to him, although he'd have to give the belt up, which he did in the end.
Yeah.
Which is why Froch fought Pascal for the vacant belt.
Yeah. So Calzaghe gave the belt up to you. I didn't know that. But the mad thing is, when you look back at Calzaghe, and obviously he's a lot higher up the list for the two of us, I'm sure. If I was a betting man. And I say this all the time, mind. I remember I watched the Calzaghe Lacey fight in the Bond Street Club down in the Sandfields in Swansea, and my mate Ross and the boys, they all went, and I don't know why they didn't go. I probably didn't have any money, which was often the case back then, and so I didn't go. So I watched it in the pub, and I remember ringing Di, because Di was on the door, and I just said to him, "Di, you will never, ever see Joe Calzaghe box like this again. This is his finest hour." He boxed absolutely brilliant. He stood him on his head, didn't he? And he basically ended the man's career in one night. And a lot of people, I think the fight before, or 2 fights before, Lacey had stopped Robin Reed in 5 rounds. Obliterated him. And they were calling him the mini Mike Tyson, weren't they? Yeah. And Lacey, I know we're going to come on to him a bit more, but for me, when you look back at the Kessler fight, and the way Calzaghe adapted to Kessler
change styles
in that fight, absolutely brilliant. In a weird way, it was as good as his fight against Kessler, because every time he's tried to stand and trade with Kessler hurt him. I think Kessler hurt him once or twice, or caught him flush a couple of times. But then he just went back to his boxing, and he done fantastically well.
Right.
I watched that in the Bond as well.
So, moving on, Da, you're number 5.
Do you know what? Right? I'm still kicking myself. I know we're going to go back. I got David A at number 5.
Yeah. Okay, I can, you know.
I got a Hay at number 5. And when you look at it, Froch probably should be higher than him, the more I think of it. But when you think about it, right, I remember they did like a live telly link between Bernard Bonte and Adam Booth on ringside. And Bernard Bonte saying, he's having a go at Adam Booth, saying, blah, blah, blah. You've got David A into the mandatory position for the World Heavyweight title. And he goes, and he's fought nobody. And Adam Booth looked at him and he went, thank you very much. And when you think about it, what he said was class. Because what he'd done is he'd masterminded David A a path for the World Heavyweight title. And it's the age-old saying, it's not who you fight, it's who you avoid.
Yeah.
And they managed David A's career unbelievably well, I think. But the very fact that I watched the fight with thingy the other day, Carl Thompson, and he got his ass handed on a plate, onto him on a plate, maybe because he just didn't train, didn't live the life. But then when you think undisputed cruiserweight world champion, obviously we were all rooting for Enzo against him. Everyone was, and you know, obviously it didn't work out for Enzo that night. It was a real shame. But David A was some fighter. He was some fighter, and he did win a world heavyweight title. Okay, probably one of the worst heavyweight champions, probably in the last 50 years, you could say. But I know his career's tarnished a little bit, but the way the Klitschko fight, and obviously barely done him twice. And I tell you what, he fooled everyone, mind, didn't he? I actually quite like that. He fooled everyone into thinking he could do it, and he fooled me twice. And he was ready for the knackers yard before the first belly fight, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he came out those fights a lot richer than they went into them, though. So.
Oh yeah, how much did he get? Do you know how much he got?
I'm guessing in the region of, between the two of them, probably, I'm guessing 5 million maybe for the two. Maybe
5
more.
million for each, or for the two fights?
The two, I'm guessing, that's just a guess. Just guess. It was a pay-per-view fight. It wouldn't have been a big fight outside of Britain, so I'm guessing there would have been no market in America or anything for it, I wouldn't have thought.
Yeah. But, so he's my number 5, David A.
Right. And all these names now are reoccurring names. So my number 4, as already mentioned by Darren, and for the same reasons, Nazi Mohammed, number 4.
He's number 4, is he?
No, I wouldn't say beat everyone, but he beat Steve Robinson, who was a dominant champion at the time, 7 title defences.
Yeah.
I think Steve was probably the best paid featherweight in the world at the time when he was fighting.
He was the best paid featherweight?
At the time, I think he was.
Was he really?
Yeah, I mean, smaller guys don't generally get paid as much as obviously the bigger guys. And when he's fighting big fights with Steve, he had a series of big fights, big-ish fights against decent names. But Naz beat good fighters. There's a fight with Kevin Kelly as well in New York. That's a special fight. Both fighters up and down.
Yeah.
Come a little bit unstuck towards the end, I think. I don't know if his arrogance or his self-belief. His self-belief got the better of him, basically, and I think he stopped learning as a boxer.
Yeah.
And when he faced good boxers with good jabs and good movement and a bit of thought, like Barrera, he's come unstuck a little bit.
Mate, I don't know if we spoke about this last time, right? If we didn't, let's talk about it now. The one thing Barrera did, which nobody else did, was every time Nazi Mohammed was at his best when he was hurt. You look every time he gets hurt, they go in for the kill, bang. wild uppercut, wild screw shot, blah, 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 and he just take him out. The one thing Barrera did, every single time Barrera hurt him, he still stuck to his boxing. He didn't jump on him. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? And he systematically gave him a bit of a beatdown, really, didn't he? And I don't know if you remember, he had Manny Stewart in his corner for that fight, didn't he?
Naz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think Nazi Man was sparring a couple of Mexicans and you were watching the build up to it. And I think Manny Stewart was like, you could see Manny Stewart going, we're in bloody trouble here.
I think Channel 4 did a documentary on Naz, didn't he? And I think they had sparring behind closed doors, and you could just see Emmanuel Stewart coming out saying, I think the sparring didn't go well.
Yeah. I don't know whether I've seen some footage of that sparring. I'm sure, and I'm sure you have too. I don't know. But
I don't ever remember seeing it, but I might probably have if it was available. Because Nazim, until he, I think I'm right in saying, until he started working with Emmanuel Stewart, he never actually done any road work. When he was with Brendan Ingle, he never used to do any road work. He just
really
just rely on his natural fitness.
Oh, he's fantastic. Right, my number 4 is gonna really shock you, right? Because it's shocking me. I don't think why you do it. But mate, I've put an active boxer in, right? Right? And maybe, and this is the thing, there's probably going to be a ton of people watching this going, what the F are you on about? But he's much better than Nigel Benn. He's much better than Chris Eubank. He hasn't achieved an awful lot, but this guy, if he applies himself, he is going to go down as one of,
I guess,
Britain's best fighters.
Can I guess?
Go on.
Josh Taylor?
Yeah, you got it. You got it. You got it. And do you know what, right? I was looking at it and thinking, what am I doing here? But mate, the guy is absolutely mustard. Mm. He's absolutely mustard. And the Prograis fight was one of the best fights I've watched.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's untested. Yeah, he's thing. But I'm looking at him and I'm looking at skills alone. If this guy lives the life, stops abusing bouncers on nights out, drunk and things like that this guy's going to go down as an all-time great, I think. I genuinely believe. I think he'll be one of the best fighters from this show. And loads of people might be thinking, well, how can you put him so high? You just have to look at this boy's ability and say no more. I don't get me wrong. I think if he's class. He's absolutely class.
I was considering putting him on my list, but yeah, I did it about it.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I was thinking when I sort of decided I was going to have active fighters in there.
Well, when you look at it, right, skills alone, 1,000,000 times better than David A. Skills alone. Streets ahead of Carl Froch. Honestly, he's brilliant.
I think in a way, because he hasn't lost yet, well, maybe we never lose, but sometimes you prove your greatness by coming back from a defeat.
Yeah.
Because he hasn't had to do, like I mentioned, like Joshua, one of the reasons I put him on the list is because he was able to come back from a defeat. And Fury, I know Fury didn't lose, but coming back from adversity. So up until this point, he hasn't had to, so maybe in time.
Taylor's got skills to burn though, and I think if this guy lives the life, and he does seem quite a sense. Obviously he got drunk over Christmas, and I think he wasn't very nice to a couple of bouncers, was he? And then he had a really ill-timed photo then with some of his sponsors, didn't he? Did you see it on Twitter?
I don't think I did. I can't remember.
Say no more on it, but he had a really ill-timed photo,
right? And
he took more stick than he needed to. But thankfully, whatever he's done, whatever he said, people have kind of seen past it. Because he does seem like a really nice guy. I think he comes from a good family. He seems relatively dedicated, and I think him and Ben. I was surprised he didn't go with Adam Booth, mind, but then when he explained why he didn't go with Adam Booth, it made perfect sense. Yeah. Because if you look at Adam Booth's fighters, none of them are fast combination punchers, are they? They're all, they're 1, 2, 3 punch combination fighters. But whereas I think Ben Davison would gel really well with him.
Yeah.
Brilliant fighter.
Yeah, fair points. My number 3, Nigel Benn. Mainly because I know we've already talked about him, but he's won his 2 world titles on foreign soil. Not many British fighters have done that. He won his WBO title in America, beating the handsome, the good-looking Doug Dewitt.
Yeah, you look a bit like... I'm only joking. That's
right, that's the end of that's the end.
Yeah. No, he's a good-looking man. Tell you.
Beat, obviously, Galvano, Italy, and the Italians tried to stitch him up by getting the fight called off by a cut. Had that brilliant win against McClellan, one of the best. It was a tragic fight, of course. We all know what happened to Gerald McClellan. But
where were you when that? Where were you? Can you remember where you were when that fight was on?
Yeah, I remember watching this, my mate. I
watched it in my house, and I was so buzzing. I went outside. I was running around, I went mad, playing football, buzzing this guy, and this guy, I think it was 1995, wasn't it?
Yeah, 95, yeah.
I was 14. I remember a guy called Mark Pierce. I bumped into him, he kneed me in the head. I've got my eye open. I got this little light scar on my left eyebrow. And a lot of people think it's from boxing. It's not. Mark Pierce kneed me in the head when I was 14.
And another reason as well, I know Ben lost to Eubank the first time, but I think in the rematch as well, I think Ben, even though he wasn't as exciting a fight, I think Nigel Ben showed that he was able to develop as a fighter and fight in a more controlled way. And I think he won that rematch. It was officially as a draw. But as far as I'm concerned, Nigel Ben beat Eubank in that rematch. Do you know,
this is quite bad, right? But I switching out for a second, this is Nigel Ben's story. What was the first fight? What's one of the first fights you can remember watching?
McGuigan, when he won a world title, I think. Yeah, and it might be a Dave Boy McCauley fight. I think go on, sorry, mate.
No, my first ever fight I watched. It was in 1990 or 91. My first ever fight I watched, maybe it was 89 or it was. I can't remember the exact date. I should know this, but my first ever fight I watched was Chris Eubank versus Michael Watson. The first ever fight I watched.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, but I remember watching Nigel Ben, and really badly of me when I used to box. When I was amateur, when I was a kid, most of my fights, my parents would leave me every day off school, the day of my fight. Right? They'd leave me every day off school. And I always used to watch really weirdly, I always used to watch the Nigel Ben, Chris Eubank rematch. Because Ben, he used to get me pumped. And I'm still gutted he's not on my list. I messed up massively. I know when he takes his robe off and he's got nowhere. And he's chiseled, right, yeah. He's chiseled, isn't he? And he's looking across the ring, and Chris. In fact, I'm going to watch that fight tonight. And he looks across at Chris Eubank, and for me, he won that fight. He won that fight. They stole that victory from him. That's terrible.
Well, funny enough, if Chris Eubank had won that fight, or if he had lost that fight, he'd have been contracted to fight for Don King. The only way he couldn't have been contracted to fight with Don King was if the fight was a draw.
Shut up.
So that fight, the result, basically kept Chris Eubank with Matchroom and a free agent. Or Frank Warren, might be, sorry, not Matchroom, Frank Warren.
How did that come about? Tell me that story.
I guess it was just messed up the contracts, I guess. Because Don King basically came in to bring the big American money to make the fight happen.
Yeah.
He was part of the promotion. And it's actually, Chris Eubank explains it in one of the documentaries he's done.
Really? I never knew that.
I think Best of Enemies, I think it's called. So I think it was actually Barry Earn. Was it Barry Earn or Frank Warren? I can't remember. I think it must have been Barry Earn, yeah. So basically, if Eubank won the fight, he was a Don King fighter. If he lost the fight, he was a Don King fighter. If the fight was a draw, it wasn't in the contract. So he was he was still a free agent, because I think after that, that's when he signed that 10-fight deal with Sky, and boxing went on to Sky Sports then, as opposed to ITV.
Who's that, Eubank?
Yeah, Eubank, yeah. So remember he had that 10-fight deal? It was a 10-fight or 8-fight.
Okay,
millions of pounds.
Wow. So you've just put Ben at number 3. So Eubank didn't make you top 10 then? No. And do you know what? I messaged the boys. I said, Ben and Eubank are not even in my top 10. And they said, who's number 10? And I originally put Steve Collins at number 10. And you might think, why? Well, he beat the two of them twice, mind. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? But obviously, when the boys then point out Darren's Irish.
Yeah. Yeah.
But listen, I struggled with the last few. Anyway, my number 3, I think you've just gone number 3 and you've gone Nigel Benn. We got the same 1 and 2, obvious.
Yeah.
But my number 3 is the man himself, Mr. Tyson Fury. He's, and yeah, you can say he hasn't boxed hardly anyone. But listen, and loads of people disagree with me on this, and that's fine because maybe my opinion is a little bit different than some people sometimes. But the way he boxed against Klitschko's class, man. A lot of people go, "Oh, what a boring fight! It was crap. It was terrible." I told you that on the last time we spoke. You see Tyson Fury's feet after that fight. He was always half a yard away from him, in and out, in and out, in and out. Yeah, it wasn't exciting and pretty to watch, but he negated every single strength Vladimir Klitschko had, and he basically opened up the heavyweight division to be the exciting, fantastic division that it is now.
Yeah. And do you remember before that fight, you mentioned Fury's footwork, but before the fight, I think it was his uncle was training at the time, wasn't he? Not his father. Yeah, Peter. But Peter, I think, realised that the Klitschko's would put extra spongy foam in the ring.
He actually went in the ring, didn't he? He stood in it.
Basically said, if that's not removed, fight's off.
Fight's off. And that's what he used to do, didn't he?
Yeah.
And it's terrible that he probably did that to a lot of fighters, which is a bit underhand, really. And do you know one thing I didn't know? Do you know with Tyson Fury, when he had his comeback fights, he had 3 fights, didn't he? And one of them was against a guy called Panietta, isn't it?
Yeah, I can't remember.
Yeah, Panietta. And everyone's going, oh, he's a stiff, he's this, he's that. And yeah, it was 10 years ago, but Klitschko boxed him. It was right for Klitschko to box him in like 2007 or 2009. It was not right for Tyson Fury to fight him after he's had 3 years out. Look, let's be honest. Tyson Fury has had 2 fantastic wins on his career, or 3 really, if you count the 2 Wilder fights. But at the end of the day, he did what nobody else could do with Klitschko, and he did what nobody else could do with Wilder.
Yeah.
And that is the end of it. That is the end of it. He had the blueprint to beat Klitschko, and he had the blueprint to beat Wilder twice. Nobody else could do it. And I honestly think if the fight happens, and I said this to you before, if he fights Joshua, he beats Joshua.
Yeah, I've said that for a long time, actually, that he beat Joshua. Even before he came back, I said, no, I think he's got the style to beat him, and people were saying it was crazy. And I was saying about Joshua, I was thinking of this earlier. You know, I meant to mention this when we mentioned Joshua. I remember when Joshua beat Klitschko, a very famous ex-boxer on Sky Sports said something along the lines of, Anthony Joshua's going to be one of the greatest, if not the greatest fighter of all time.
Was that Glenn?
No, it wasn't Glenn, no. I think it was Spencer Oliver.
Yeah.
But, you know, just based on the win of Klitschko, but I don't know, I guess he's just caught up in the hype of the moment, and I suppose when you got a camera on you, it is difficult.
But you know what? Yeah, but you know what, though? Do you know the other thing is? And it is a shame, right? And I do you listen to Tris Dixon's podcasts? Yeah,
I haven't listened to them all, but I've listened to quite a few of them.
Brilliant. But some of my favourite ones are that. The Mickey Ward one's brilliant. The Dominic Ingle one's really good. Dominic Ingle divides opinion, but Dominic Ingle one is brilliant. If you listen to that one, there's a real treat at the end of it. I won't tell you.
Okay, I haven't listened to that one yet.
Very, very good. But I'm listening to the Andy Lee one.
Oh yeah, I listened to that the other day.
Yeah.
Excellent.
He has to hold his tongue, doesn't he, not to say anything bad about Manuel Stewart, because something happened there, didn't it?
I felt that as well, yeah. And then he mentioned as well, didn't he, that he made a conscious effort not to include her in his book. No, he said
why he fell out. Which shows how much he respects the man. But you could see he was holding his tongue, and he was basically saying, he said something like, when you live with someone for 5 years, you see every side of the man.
Yeah.
As he did with me. And you could see, he wasn't having a dig, but you could see that it didn't end unbelievably well for them.
No. I don't know, I think it just, it was more to the story, though. But credit to Andy Lee, really, for not washing his dirty laundry in public type thing.
And that is why I wanted to mention him. And the reason I mentioned him is because Andy Lee, he says that he's like Alex Arthur. It's the first time I've sworn. Fucking brilliant. Absolutely brilliant commentator, brilliant analyst, breaks down the fights unbelievably well. But they won't be told, see? They'll just say it as it is. Whereas you've got someone like Spencer Oliver. Why is he saying that? Is he saying it because he wants another job with Sky, or he wants to be asked back and stuff? And I think there's too many of them that I don't know.
I interviewed Andy Lee in out in Ireland in Belfast when Chris Jenkins fought. Who did he fight now? I can't remember. When he got badly cut defending his title.
Yeah. Did he really?
Yeah. Yeah, the KOTV showed on there, boxing shows as well, but I think it is on YouTube, or bits of it.
Send it over to me if you can.
But I got to say, he was ringside, and I went over to ask. My plan was to get through interviews, only had that one done as it happens. But I went over to ask, do you mind if I do an interview Andy, because he was there talking? So I was, yeah, but he was so humble. He was almost apologetic. He was so he was almost embarrassed talking about his career. After
Jay beat Paddy Barnes, we all went to the hotel that Jay was staying in. And we had a beer. So I had a beer with Gary Lockett, a couple of the fighters in there. And who was in there? Andy Lee was in there. And he come over, and I swear to God, right, I could, first of all, I couldn't believe he actually boxed. When he boxed not Julian Jackson, what's his name? Who did he box and he sparked that boy?
It's actually Julian Jackson's son, wasn't it?
Julian Jackson's son. And he sparked him, didn't he? Sparked him in Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
And he boxed him at 11 stone 3, because he was going to go down to light middle, but he's a middleweight. And he boxed him. I don't know where I'm going with the story. I couldn't believe the size of him. He is absolutely huge. Yeah. And he actually boxed on the undercard of Golovkin versus Danny Jacobs, but I missed it. I think it was in the bar. but he was a lovely, lovely man. And one of the nicest things about him, I couldn't believe the size of him. And he looked over, and me and Ross were speaking to him, and he goes, your man there is a great fighter. And he goes, your man there, he's some fighter. And he was on about Jay Harris. Class. Right. And I thought Andy Lee giving him a compliment like that. I thought, but he gave us loads of his time. Great guy.
Yeah. Right. So we're down to the final two. Yeah. I guess you'd have the same. I presume you got to have the same two. Otherwise, if you're on the same two, I'm not even going to put this on YouTube. I'm just going to delete it.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, we'll say the number one together. I'll count down 1, 2, 3. We both say the name.
Go on.
And then if you say one, that means you got the other one. No. If I say one, that means I got the other one. Okay.
Well, are we saying 1, 2, and then saying it, or
1, 2, 3, name for our number one spot? Okay.
Go on then.
1, 2, 3, Calzaghe.
Lennox Lewis. No, I'm joking. Calzaghe.
You got Calzaghe. And you got Lennox. Lennox number 2, is it?
Yes. Have you got Lennox number 2?
Yeah, Lennox number 2, Calzaghe number 1. But if someone argued it was the other way around, I wouldn't disagree.
Mate, I'm not being funny. Like I put on Twitter, if anyone thinks Mike Tyson would beat anyone in the top 10, they need to give their head a good wobble.
Yeah.
If anyone thinks that Lennox Lewis is above Joe Calzaghe, they need to give their head a real good wobble. Don't get me wrong, Lennox Lewis avenged both his defeats. He had one of the worst robberies I've ever seen when he actually got a draw against Evander Holyfield in the first fight. Yeah. When he clearly beat him. But you cannot put Lennox Lewis above Joe Calzaghe. You just cannot do it.
Well, I agree. I wouldn't. I obviously got Calzaghe above Lewis, but if some people put Lewis, it's either Lewis or Joe in it. When people,
what would their argument be?
I guess world heavyweight champion, fought all the best guys out there. You could argue Joe didn't fight the very best. And I know that probably for boxing politics reasons. Like, he didn't fight Roy Jones at his prime. He didn't sort of fight James Toney, McCallum, all those sort of guys. Yeah, but that's, I wouldn't say that's Joe's fault. I mean, there's probably a lot of things going on behind the scenes why those fights.
It comes back to what I was saying about that word, unconscious bias.
Yeah, but Lennox, to be fair, he did literally fight everyone. And something people don't realise, when people say that Mike Tyson would beat Lennox Lewis, I don't think he would at any point in his career.
No,
Mike Tyson actually paid money not to fight Lennox Lewis.
Did he give him something like $5 million?
Yeah, he basically stepped aside money so that he wouldn't have to fight Lennox Lewis.
And when you think what was that, 20 years ago?
Yeah, mid-90s.
How much is $5 million worth now?
Yeah, it's got to be worth 3, 7, 8, 9, if not more.
Yeah, but then again, and that's why when I said when we spoke previously, Wilder's not going to take less than $10 million to step aside.
No, I would have thought so. Right.
Yeah, so Lennox Lewis, number 2. One of the finest fighters Britain's ever had. avenged every loss, brilliant. Randomly, I remember when he beat Oliver McCall and Oliver McCall turned away and started crying. Like yesterday, I was at the Riley's in Forest Froch watching it, and just watched all the fights about as a kid. And great fighter. But remember he boxed Klitschko? Klitschko was beating him, wasn't he?
Yeah. I was actually in France when that fight took place. I missed the fight.
Did he? And he was a bit overweight as well, wasn't he? And he looked like he hadn't trained very hard. But anyway, so number 2, we've got to say. Go on, number 1. 2
and 1. Well, obviously Joe number 1, Lewis number 2. So, but interestingly, more or less got all the same names. The only name of my list you didn't have was
Duke McKenzie.
Duke, and you had obviously Taylor there, didn't you? Taylor and Amy.
The only ones we had different is I had Nigel Benn, really sadly. I had him at number 11. And I've actually written it for there. He's actually there at the bottom.
You're going to justify yourself now, Dan?
No, I that's probably the worst shout, that is. When I look back now, Ben should have been in there. Would you put, looking back, would you put Ben higher than Joshua? I suppose you would, really.
Yeah, two-weight world champion.
You'd have to because of what he'd done.
But Joshua still has the potential.
That's the thing.
To go higher in list because his career is still ongoing. And Fury as well, for that matter. And obviously Josh Taylor. Right. Now we've done our lists, Darren.
Yes.
What would you change on yours?
Hindsight's a beautiful thing. Amir Khan gets the kibosh. Anthony Joshua goes in a number 10. And then they all drop down a little bit. So basically, Joshua goes to number 10, Hatton goes to number 9, Froch goes to number 8. No, Joshua goes to number 10, Hatton goes to number 9, Ben goes number 8, Froch stays at 7, Naz jumps Hay and goes 5, Hay goes number 6, and then 4, 3, 2, 1, Taylor, Fury, Lewis, Calzaghe stays exactly the same. I don't change that.
Yeah, I think the only one I changed, and I'm just looking at it, I got the list here in front of me now, is I'd probably, now we've talked about it, put Fury higher up the list.
Well, yeah,
but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. At this stage, maybe I'd just swap in with Hay. Not Fury, maybe 8, and Hay 9.
I don't get that. But I can. In fact, I'm probably being a bit harsh on you there. I do get it because when you think about it, he's only had 2 very good wins, or say 3. But it's what he's done. I mean, I wouldn't, but his career is still ongoing. Obviously, it's difficult to judge when things are still in real time, so to speak. Yeah, I'm still kicking myself. I can't believe it didn't put Ben. Nigel Ben. Yeah, mate.
Right. Okay, guys. Just thank Darren for joining me this afternoon on this. Really enjoyed it. For all the viewers who are watching it, I don't know how many there'll be. Probably
about 5
or 6. But the 5 or 6 viewers, if you think it's easy, have a go yourself, and you'll find it's really difficult to write a top 10. But
you know what, though? Hindsight's a wonderful thing. And now, because we've talked for nearly an hour over it, it's going to be a lot easier for other people, I think. Now that they've got a bit more...
Well, the boxing brains of South Wales have discussed it, is it?
Yeah. I am just going to take so much stick off the boys for not. And especially, I put Ben in there above Khan. But you can't take anything away from Khan. He's got balls of size.
Oh, yeah, I love Amir Khan. I mean, he gets criticised unfairly, I think. But he's given so much excitement over the years to fight fans. So I wouldn't begrudge him a spot on your list.
What's that?
I said I wouldn't begrudge Amir Khan a spot on your list.
Yeah,
for all the fun and entertainment he's given over the years.
Yeah, good point. Listen, mate, really enjoyed it. You got me through an hour of lockdown.
There we go.
Enjoyed, mate.
Yeah, cheers, Dan.
Good to speak to you, mate. Stay safe, right? Take care.
All the best. Cheers, Dan.
Bye.